Yo, what up? I'm Vincent from Canada,
Yo, what's up? It's Jerles from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
and this is our interview for Nostalgic Nights.
Here's cheers to a successful interview. Let's get it. We got Vincent, we got Jerles, we got our guy Tyler, and we got good company and good drinks. So let's have a fun one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, so what kind of music software do you guys use? Like, what would you say? Like, you produce through?
Ableton for sure.
Yeah. Ableton all the way.
I used to use Reason when I started, and I always wanted to get an FL because like everybody does like the rap beats on it.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at that the other day, not to go like too far off on a tangent, but all the like you watch any of the Genius videos, and like 90% of them are like, yeah, I just took this and I put it on gross beat in FL, and I'm like, okay, well, like all current rap is now just gross beat on FL, like this one little effect.
Wow.
So I might download it just to like try that, but there's like ways to do it in Ableton too.
That's interesting. I didn't know about that. That's very interesting.
It just like it half times it, and half timing it slows it down and like pitches it all the way down. So it just like it's like half timing the sample. So instead of it being like the length that it normally is, it doubles it up and like slows it down. Kind of like the only way to explain it without like going too in depth with it, it kind of sounds like chopped and screwed type stuff. Like it feels slowed down.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's very cool. I had no idea about that.
But you can do that with like instruments. You can do that with the whole track. You can do that with whatever.
Very interesting. Did you always use Ableton?
Always
Ableton. I like that.
Dude, it's not attractive, like aesthetically, I guess.
Yeah.
But, dude, it gets the job done. It's so
Ableton.
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
love
so
how it
simple.
looks. I love how it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like these new people, they're like, hey, dude, what software do you use? Like, I want to start producing. I show them it. They're like, they sit down. They're like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do. They
Well,
quit
yeah.
after, like, 5 minutes.
You really have to like dive into it and like look at it, and in that aspect, like from somebody that's just starting out, FL looks way better because you have like little click buttons, and you can like you just tap the things and it happens. Yeah, and it makes it. It's not like it's easier to do, but it like I feel like it's easier to start out with. Like the learning curve from the start is easier, and then after that it becomes more difficult. With Ableton, it's just like the same thing all the way through. Like it's tough and it doesn't get easier until you figure it out.
Then when you figure it out, it's
like I'm at a point right now where like all the stuff, like if I make a sound, it's all post-processed. Like it's all like I can find a sound and I like it, but if I want it to sound a certain way, it's not like inside, you know, like a VST or something outside the program. I do everything like in Ableton because I understand how Ableton works.
So Coachella, tell me how it was. How was it? Shut down. Was first weekend or second weekend better?
First weekend was insane. First weekend, those kids were like popping. They were like super. They were ready to go. Like, and it's crazy because I had always thought that first weekend was like, all the famous people are there. Everybody's more like, oh, I'm just here for the look. I'm here to like show off what I'm wearing and stuff. And I mean, Coachella's like that. It's like a fashion. It's more of like, it's not EDC where EDC is more like we're coming for the music. Coachella, you're coming for the music, but it's also like being around people. It's like the environment. It's a music festival. It's not a rave, right?
Definitely.
Not saying EDC is a rave. EDC is fantastic, but Coachella was ridiculous. Did a lot of like fun stuff. Stood on the decks for the first time ever. Yeah, that shit was
nice.
mad fun. I got super nervous. I did it first weekend, and I didn't even do it for my set. It was Quicks, who's like a really, really close friend. We're both managed by the same people, and we have the same agent. And so he plays, and we have a collab together. And he like looks at me, and I was like on a high, obviously. Like I just walked off stage for the first time. I'm like, I remember I walked off, I sat down, there's like a tiny little platform kind of like this. I just like turned around and looked at my agent and just screamed. I'm like, I had to let the adrenaline out.
Definitely.
Like, you just like hop off the stage, you're like, shit. And then he played the track, and for whatever reason I was just like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna jump on the stage. And everybody like loses their minds when you do that. And so I was like, okay, that's super cool. And then second weekend, like yesterday or 2 days ago now, I did the same thing, jumped on like 2 or 3 times. Did a couple of speeches that like really important to me for like family stuff.
That's
and just like telling people the story because a lot of people don't know. So it was definitely like a moment. I'm glad I had the balls to do that because like halfway through the set, I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I'd like pick up the mic and I'd be like, and I put it back down. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. And I'm like, oh, what am I gonna say? Is this the time? And I'm like, I can't do it. And afterwards, I was like, if I don't say it, I'm gonna kick myself for the rest of my life, being like, why didn't you say it?
Big facts. You get a good reaction from the crowd from it too, as well.
Well, yeah. So the big one was like, I mean, I could tell you the same thing that I said. It was basically like, I'm like, it was right before my last song. Like, I have like an outro with my new single that I just put out, and then it goes in another version that I won't say yet, but it comes out soon. Yeah. Hopefully. We shot a video for it. It's like really tight. I love it. But I got on the mic and I'm like, 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to come to Coachella, 3 tickets, and it was either go to Coachella and I'm from Canada, so it was like you have to like fly down, do everything, get to India because I'm not flying into Palm Springs or whatever.
Right.
Or keep my job as a lifeguard that I had worked like 2 years to have the degree, or not degree, but like all the certification to get that done. And so I quit my job to go to the festival, and everybody just starts roaring. Like everybody's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And then I was like, also very very sad note that I don't try to like blast it on people, and it's not like I don't want to make my burden everybody else's burden, but it'll come back after I say this, which it is everybody's burden at the same time. Is my mom passed away from cancer in December that she had been fighting for like 3 years, and she never got to see any of my shows because she was always sick at home, right? Like she was always going through chemo treatments and everything. So I was like, I know that she's watching right now, and if you guys can do this with me, like I need you guys to scream "fuck cancer" with me. I was like 1, 2, 3, fuck cancer, and they're like "fuck cancer," and then I was like, no, like I need louder. I'm like, no, fuck cancer, and they're like, "fuck cancer," and then I get on stage, I jump on the decks. I'm like, no, guys, like I need you to fucking scream this, like "fuck cancer." Like, where the fuck cancer?
That's
I'm like, all right, here's my new single. Play it, and that's it.
Boom.
But I was like, if I didn't do that, like for myself, I would have been so sad. Like, it's just, it was like a huge. Obviously, it's on my mom. It's like a huge part of my life. So,
facts. I'm sorry to hear that as well. It's for a reason. She's in a better place. That's for sure.
We all know that.
That's for sure.
Just out of curiosity, what are some of the big names that you saw out there? Like, I know you're gonna see a lot of big artists, but like, did you happen to see like Kylie or anything like that? Like
Yeah, we
Bella?
did. Funny as fuck you say that. Yeah, we saw Kylie was behind my manager in line getting her passes. She had like 2 bodyguards right around her. Like it was like a real thing. Justin Bieber, I didn't get to see him, but he was hanging out with the yodeling kid.
Yeah, I saw
our
that.
friends were like hanging out with him.
Who'd he go on stage
With
with?
Weathan.
Weathan.
Dude,
That's
he
dope,
like,
dude.
as much as it's a meme, like it's definitely like the smartest fucking people.
Oh yeah, dude, that kid's gonna be big. I bet that kid's gonna be
You'd like
big.
look, he's like averaging like. I mean, he like triples my likes on everything, and now he's like
It's just
10
because
times the
fucking
amount.
marketing teams are through the roof
That's
nowadays
what
in
I'm
this
saying.
new
Like,
era.
they know
So
exactly
they
what they're
know how
doing.
to turn that 15 seconds into fucking 10 years,
A
20
moment.
years, the rest of your life.
He's got over 1 million followers on Instagram now, right?
Easy.
We were
He's
talking about this
talented,
last
though.
night.
He
It's
is
like social
talented,
media has really just expanded marketing, especially for the entertainment industry.
So
So
that Bad
much.
Barbie, I guarantee when she goes on her tour, like she's gonna sell out every show, and she's gonna sell out 2,000 seat venues. I truly believe that. She's going like 50K a show right now.
crazy.
We're talking about getting a date because that's how much she's doing, and like I wouldn't do that, but it's just like how it is. I'm gonna do it. Though.
That's the thing.
I wouldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it. Like like I wasn't
media,
going
man.
after it. 3 other promoters was like, dude, we gotta hop on the
We
Bad
have to
Barbie
get
thing,
it.
and I was like, fuck, all right, let's get on
A
this.
couple of the tracks are super hard too. I'm like, oh, I don't want to like this because it's a meme, and I'm like,
those producers
okay,
are
I'm like,
mean,
whatever. Like,
dude.
I could
You know
see
what?
like a 21 remix or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, she's on a wave
Just because
too.
she gets some meat, they know they're about to get mad views, so producers are happy to do that.
Yeah.
To do it.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's so nuts. I can't believe that. But
Some
I mean, like,
producers.
they're like, I saw
Right here,
for
man.
the names that were actually playing. Like, I was only there Friday first weekend for
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours, and then had to dip. And then this past weekend earlier, like on Friday, I was only there. I was there the entire day actually. We stayed till like majority end of Rez. I'd never seen Rez before. She blew me away. That was
I've heard she's
really
awesome.
really
Good.
It was half of it for me was like I had like seen her like parts of sets maybe like 10
Yeah.
15 minutes at like most, and it was like the visual panels from Coachella and like the amount of
That's
people that were
Sahara
there. Yeah, and Sahara Tent, from all the pictures, I hope everybody knows that it is like gargantuan compared to what it looks like in pictures. The pictures do not do
It's
it justice.
huge.
Like we walked in first weekend and we looked at I'll say it wrong. It's not Elohim, it's Elohim.
I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce
She's
it.
fantastic.
She's
I just
awesome,
can't
yeah.
pronounce
She's
the name,
really
and I
cool.
don't know. But she was playing, and we walked up. We looked around for a minute, and then we left. But it was like very busy for 2:30 or 3:30 whenever she was playing and ending. Like I couldn't believe. Even like second weekend, we went back and we saw like 30, 40 minutes of her set. She packed that bitch out. Like she has like really like everybody. I was gonna say she has really diehard fans. Everybody that
It does.
we were looking around. We walked through the area to go see in like the viewing area, and I kid you not, like every second person that was on the rail in GA and in VIP all had her
Yeah, I was
face
about to
mask.
say.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know she sold those. Like
What's her face mask?
it's with the typeface on it, like her logo.
Yeah.
But everybody, like I'm not
I
kidding
saw
you.
so
I
many pictures on Instagram, just like on the popular
couldn't
pages, just
believe
the
it.
Same,
I was like,
same thing.
Yeah.
you just get so happy when people do that because everybody's so excited about the project. Like
Yeah.
that's
I saw
what's-
her out in NYC. My apologies
No,
to
you're good,
interrupt. I saw her out in NYC at PlayStation Community. That's all I had to say. Though, really.
the coolest thing about the popularity of electronic music right now is watching the Sahara tent full at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Whereas like I went, I think it was like 3 years ago, and we would go to the Sahara tent. I think Van Eyck was playing at like 3 o'clock, and there was not nearly as many people as when I was watching Weathen or Lewis the Child playing. Or Lewis the Child played at 7, I think, but Weathen played at like 3 or 4. And it's packed, or
like
Elohim, whatever it is.
massively packed, yeah.
And it's so cool to finally see these electronic acts getting the popularity that they really do.
For me, it's the new acts that get the recognition,
No
because
doubt.
it's not to like demean anything of what they do. Obviously, they're gonna have big crowds, but like Troy Boy, Rez, like Alice in Wonderland, they're all playing their set times because they're playing their set times. Like they can sell out. Like Allison's doing Shrine.
Allison's killing it
she's the one, man.
Her new album,
She's dope.
Yeah, her album was fantastic. I
I've been
really
listening to a few of her
enjoyed it.
mixes. I haven't listened
But
to the album.
she's doing Shrine in LA. That's 5K. 5,000 people. Like a 5,000 person venue. Guaranteed she sells it out too, because she sold out the Novo, which is like, I want to say it's between 28 and 34, something like that. So like, she's on the wave too, but it's just like, I remember when I first went, like I remember seeing Allison, I think it was Saturday, the year that I went, it was like 2015, I think. And we ran in, we were 10 minutes late for her set, and literally the first track that she plays as soon as I get in there is my You Don't Know remix. And we're watching it with like, there's like 10,000 people
cool.
in there. Or maybe not 10,000, maybe it was like 5 to 8 maybe. And I'm like, I'm losing it. But even then, it was like, it wasn't that many people that were there for her. Maybe she wasn't that big of a name. Maybe she was the same size as Weathen at that time, or maybe she was bigger, maybe she was smaller, who knows. But, people just didn't, actually, it's funny I'm going to say this. People weren't into electronic music as much, and then we saw Odessa at Gopi, and it was like triple capacity. Like I'd never seen a stage like that.
They've been doing that for multiple years.
We saw them at New Year's as well in Colorado. At Decadence.
I'm pretty sure they sold. Yeah, Decadence.
Yeah, we
is
saw
like
them at New Year's. That
which
shit
one
was
though?
mad. Colorado.
I hate you guys.
Yeah,
like
Colorado.
the Denver one. That's
Dude, that one.
It's a cool. It's small, and like if you're not at one stage, you hear both, and it's like both both
Sound
sounds. So
bleeding.
it'd be super reverby, and like you hear both. But like if you're in it, like the sound completely cuts off when you pass like literally like a foot like cut off.
yeah.
And once you're in it, dude, it's literally the most like dungeon rave thing you can be in.
Well, I'm not gonna say Denver's like that, but I'm saying the Denver fans, like as far as I've experienced, they just want like hard stuff.
Yeah,
like,
the
they're
Denver
ready.
scene
But at the same time, they're just ready for anything. Like Odessa would crush in Denver.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they
Odessa-
killed it whenever we saw them.
Everything soft, everything hard. Like they just like love music, but I know that they ride or die for like the heavy shit.
We were talking
definitely
about
do.
Tame earlier too, and the whole time while they were just getting prepped for their set, they were just spinning the Tame album.
Odessa's
just
playing
front to
Tame
back.
pre-show,
It was
dude.
dope.
It was
I'm such a big
amazing.
Tame fan, so I was over there just like,
I would have cried for sure.
Fucking
Like
get
going
it.
off. Yeah.
It was a good time. I was pretty hammered too, so I couldn't walk, and then like all of a sudden I heard this, and I'm like,
Sobered up instantly, like this voice.
we're here.
Dude,
I see
I really
3
wanna-
females after that, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Next question.
I want to see Kevin
let's
Parker's
roll.
DJ set. Kevin Parker does a DJ set. With
Yes,
somebody.
his name is no. He goes by himself. It's DJ Def's Worth It.
Really?
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
he
sure
knows.
he does
We have
back-to-back.
we have the
He's my
inside.
fucking guy. That's my guy. But DJ
Yeah.
Def's Worth It. The names he goes under, and I've never seen a DJ set.
Dude,
but
well,
that's
he
my guy.
remixed that Miguel track, and I was like, a Tame
Waves?
Impala remix.
Yeah, Waves.
I love it. It's
It is a
great.
good one.
Dude. Everything that he's put out is like.
Have you heard any more of his
Genius.
remixes?
No, but see, like that's the thing. Like I only found out about Tame Impala. I'm not joking. Like
yeah.
it's been like 2 or 3 months ago, and I was like, I had heard the name for so long, and I just never dove into the music.
Yeah.
And then I heard it, and I was like, why was I sleeping for so
Yeah,
long?
dude,
Like
man.
this is.
And did you
really
know
it.
that Kevin Parker? So when he performs live shows, he goes into the band Tame Impala, and he performs with a live band. But when he's recording, he makes
It's just
every
Kevin.
single instrument. Yeah, he's
No,
he's
there was that
guitar,
video where
drummer.
he's in.
Yeah.
I think whether it was, I don't know if it was in California or if it was in Australia where he's from.
Yes.
But he's at his house and it's
I
like
know
that
exactly
gazebo
what
thing
you're talking
where he's
about.
like, dude, I've watched that at
Power
least
Lines.
10
The
times.
song is Power Lines. He
Yeah,
fucking murks
it's so
them.
cool. And then
That's
you listen
so
to the
cool.
song after, and you're like,
Yeah.
you literally just recorded it right there.
So
You just watched him
dope.
do it.
It's so
crazy.
dope. That was such a cool video.
He's a legend.
So what got you guys started producing, and how long ago was that?
I started because my girlfriend said she thought producers were hot. Like literally.
That's amazing.
Was there
really
a
why.
DJ that in particular like inspired you guys? Like you saw it and then you were like, okay, now that's like I want to do something
dude,
like that.
Ever since the first time I pressed play on an Odessa song, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like, and then my girlfriend's the one who showed me Odessa. Like Odessa, like Flume, like anything that's just like different, like the whole, because they're not even an electronic. I would say they're just in a genre of their own. But,
Yeah.
They are now for sure.
yeah. Ever since I heard, I think the first song I heard of Odessa was Sun Models. after I heard that, I was like so simple and like I wanted to make something that beautiful for sure.
You showed me that Say My Name video, and that video spoke to me
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
That
for sure.
video spoke to me a lot whenever I was younger. I like that. You definitely introduced me to them as a cool band. What band did inspired you?
I used to, like, I've been to Florida a lot. My family and I used to, like, every a couple of years we'd go to, like, Disney as a family type thing. Because a lot of our family lives in Canada, and then other people live in other countries. So they, like, it would always be, like, a meeting spot instead of, like, coming all the way over. And so we'd go, and I remember I came back one night, and I was watching the Ultra live stream, and it was, like, the last time that Swedish House Mafia was playing in 2013. But I didn't know that it was the last time. And I'm sitting there, like, I'm like 6 hours away from Miami. Why am I not here right now? Like, the vacation is amazing, but like this is a moment in time. And I think I was like 13 or 14. And after that, I was just like, this is so incredible. Like, I really want to try to figure this out. And I have like a big piano background. Like, my mom my parents actually put me in piano lessons. So I'd always like, I'd known about music and I knew how to make music. It was just, I didn't know that you could like actually produce it and like make your own ideas. Right. But that was something that always interested me. So eventually I just started like dabbling in other programs and trying to figure out like, oh, there's a way, like, if somebody's making music and you hear music on the radio, and it's not like, you know, guitars and drums and you need like a band and a recording studio, and I'm like 13, 14, I don't have money to do that.
Yeah,
but you know, I have a computer and you can download Ableton or download Reason or whatever the hell you want to use, and you can just make music
express
whenever.
your thoughts in the music.
Exactly, yeah. So that was it for me. I was like, well, if I can do this, and like I started finding like trap music and like Foster Damas and Gladiator and all those people, and after that, like I think it was like YouTube browsing after I came back from Ultra. I found like Original Dawn, I found Lana's Theme by Floss, and then I found GameCube and Nintendo by Gladiator. And those are the 3 tracks. I just listened to them on repeat like all night. I'm like, what is this? Like, I've never heard of this. This is like post Skrillex too. Like after Skrillex, like he was like coming up. This is like after Levels and everything. Like I remember, like I had heard
R.I.P. Avicii on that.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like that's the home team too. Is very, very sad. Like we signed with PRMD in like February, and we put out the first single literally the day that he passed. That's why, like, it's ridiculous. Like, we put it out and I'm so excited. Like, yeah, we got press, we have everything for it. Like, this is the first like big Vincent release to like get everything through, and then just for whatever unfortunate fucking reason, he just passes. Like,
that was tough.
It's crazy.
That was wild.
Sad day for the whole community, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, like, his music touched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of people. Like, it was so big. Like, I started looking afterwards. I was like, I'm looking at the plays he's got. Like, in his bio, it was written he had like, it's like 15 billion streams or something like that.
It's insane.
Yeah, and you're like playing on the biggest stages in the world. It's just, it's interesting to see how like, and I would never be able to attribute it because I don't know him at all. But just the way that he captured millions, like he captured an audience. Like, he knew how to make the music to like catch everybody, and he brought EDM or like electronic music into a completely different light. And we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, or like pioneers like Skrillex and other people.
It's a big part of it. How old were you when you guys both got your first boards? Or your first like DJ boards, you know what I'm saying? Your first one to start making your own music.
Dude, I'm like fairly new to the whole thing, so like I would say mine's like 2 years ago maybe.
Really?
Yeah, my launchpad. And then I realized you can do everything on Ableton, like majority of it through a keyboard. So I was like, okay, I don't need to do
launchpad.
And you just bought that keyboard like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, that Elise's V25. Yeah.
Oh, those are super nice.
Yeah, they're sick.
I bought an S2, like a Tractor S2, off of a friend for like $100, and that's what like my first DJing thing was. I think I was 17-ish, probably. Like I think that's when I started to make my alias and actually put out music. I started producing when I was like 13, 14, but that's more like, you know, anybody starting out just making like rap beats or whatever. None of it was good. Like, it's on SoundCloud, somebody can find it. And I'm like, I'm looking at the cameras to see if somebody will go out there and find it. I'm not saying there's no hints on that because I don't want that shit coming out. But if somebody finds it, like, great, it'll be so good. But yeah, I got my first DJing decks at 17, but I started like my first like copy of anything was probably like 13, 14.
Very nice. What was your favorite artist that you opened up for? Either both of you. Your favorite artist that you've opened up for to this day.
Mine's easy.
And Slander was cool, but like personality-wise, like definitely Vincent, bro.
Yeah, Vincent's the man, bro. He's the man.
Legit, thank you. Oh
He's the
my
man.
god.
He's the
I mean,
man.
everyone else I've opened for like hasn't even like talked to me for the most part.
I
They just
agree.
try to make, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
It's just
I
like
agree.
small talk. I
I
feel like a lot of people, like, even not the big dudes. I'm not saying like, oh, every big DJ is like that, but
Yeah.
some of those dudes, like, they tour so much and like
Dude,
go
yeah.
to so many
Yeah,
shows,
exactly.
and like
They do, and they
they
get
do this
tired of it
every
all.
weekend,
And,
like 5 times.
and
They 5 times in a
Yeah.
weekend.
And that's
even,
why
5 times in 3
that's
days.
why that they don't ever say anything. Like I never hold it against them because
Yeah.
like I do like not nearly as many shows they do, and I'm already tired. Like
Yeah.
so I can't even imagine.
I'm
man.
not even a fraction of theirs
Yeah,
either. Like
exactly.
they're doing like Steve Aoki numbers. Like they're doing
Yeah.
150 shows a
They're
year.
doing their own Red Rock
And,
Day
like,
this year.
That's what I'm.
great with
And
Nightmare.
it's so good that they're blowing up, and like everybody's on this wave of like. I'm just so happy that everybody that started producing is on the wave of making bigger moves and like continuously growing.
I agree.
But after they do so many shows, like I just don't expect that from
No,
people.
yeah. And I remember like during that set, like I was on the speaker like on a drop, and then I looked to my right, and they
Yeah, they're
were
over
both
there
both
vibing.
jamming. And I was like, okay, that's chill. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Big facts.
That a similar story actually for my people to open for at Boombox Cartel. Always
Yeah.
like they're basically the home team for me now. I've always been such a like Uber fan, and then they just started putting me on shows like
We
I
had
support.
Boombox Cartel actually this past December open up for Excision. We had the whole Paradox come out to our. My grandfather owns a venue out in Oklahoma City,
Okay, yeah.
Lost Lakes. That's where we did Bid Day, and we had Excision, Boombox, and Dion. I mean, Dion's
Dion
always
Timber,
with. Yeah, he's always with Excision. I mean,
Yeah,
always and that's where we'll do Bid Day this next year. We'd love to have you out. Our
Yeah.
guy Jerles is going to be performing. We had
I
Metro
mean,
Boomin
yeah,
and
yeah,
Juicy
yeah,
J
yeah,
this
yeah.
last year. Definitely. I mean,
Metro Boone and Juicy J. Oh my god.
yeah, that's who we had this
Yeah.
past year. This year, for headliner, who we're looking at is. I say it's already next question moves. It just depends if you guys are gonna be asking for 50K each next time we talk about it. You guys are doing
No. Maybe like 4 years from now, 3 years from
Okay.
now. Not tomorrow.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
So talking about festivals and stuff, what would y'all say is your absolute favorite
Electric
festival to go
Forest
to?
by far.
I hate you. That's the only one that I want to go to so bad. Like
It's
I've
by
hit
far.
the ones that I needed to go to. Like I was always like EDC Coachella. That was it. I just wanted like Coachella was amazing the first time I went and changed.
Uh-huh.
That was the first ever major that I went to. And by major, I mean the only festivals that I went to before is Skrillex did a Full Flex Express tour through Canada on a train with like Toki Monster, Pretty Lights, Diplo,
That's
Cone
dope.
Sound,
That's
like a whole bunch of people.
Yes.
And like it's funny to know now because now I know people like from Oslo. They're like close friends,
Yeah.
like this dude named Tom. And I was talking to him about it, and somehow he's like, "Oh yeah, I was there. I was on the whole tour." And I was like, "Oh, there's this really funny part when 100 Waters was playing because
Yeah.
it's Winnipeg. Like we don't really have a scene. We
I
have
know
a scene, but
Waters
it's,
is.
yeah, well, yeah, but like we wanted like dubstep. Even me,
No,
I'm
I
saying this
understand
now,
that.
like 2013 maybe 2014 when it happened, and we just wanted dubstep.
Yeah, it's a lot more slow,
so-
isn't it? That's
yeah,
100 Wires.
but they had it in the baseball stadium. Like we don't have a major league team. We have like a minor league.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what it is. I know AHL and NHL, but I don't know.
Mine
what
is
the
right. Mine is
minor
right
league
for at least right.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
no,
correct.
it's big. Like they always there's probably like a like a 5,000-10,000 person
Mhm.
like venue, I guess.
Dope.
But they held it in the baseball stadium, and everybody just started turning around and screaming, and everybody like we're off main stage because there
Yeah.
are 2 stages. I'm like, why is everybody looking literally the opposite direction of the headliners, of the people that are playing right
Yeah.
now? And we look back, and on the top, like the very very top of the stadium, it's Skrillex, his manager, and Tom, literally the dude that I had met 8 years, like it's not 8 years, but it's
Yeah.
at least 4 years later
Yeah.
that I would have never met anywhere. It's like we were in the same vicinity
crazy
that he
Uh-huh.
was there,
Crazy how
but
that works.
yeah, but you would like I would have never known. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I can see Skrillex because he's the short dude, but I don't know
Uh-huh.
who he's standing next to.
Yeah.
but
Nice.
yeah, it's just funny how that works out.
Big fact. How was Toki Monster?
Something happened, and I don't like it was like a coma or something. She
Yeah?
lost the ability to make music through like a serious. Like it wasn't like head trauma or anything. Like I don't know. I really don't know what happened. But somehow she was like in the hospital or something and lost the ability to like
Yeah.
create music, or like she came back to afterwards whatever happened and she couldn't make music and she had to teach herself again how
like
to
a-
make music.
Wow.
Like
That's
imagine
like
like
a film.
yeah, imagine like
Did it change? Can you feel like differentiates and
I wouldn't.
from then to there?
I feel like she has like a similar vibe and it's like the same
I don't know
type
her
of
music
music,
like
but
that, so-
it's like.
Yeah.
I do appreciate her music. Every time
I know a
heard,
lot of the old stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like old samples and hip hop, and she goes, or I watched like a couple of videos that she did ages ago, and she used to like take records, sample records, and just make like
Yeah.
a beat out of it. But it's not like glorified hip hop beats like you hear now. Like
Oh, yeah,
I'm
she
not gonna call
definitely-
any names. Like it's not. I'm just saying it's not rap beats. It's more like if Odessa made like weird, or it's like Flylo. It's like Flying Lotus almost, but
that makes sense.
not as left field. It's like very, very close. It's not like center, it's not pop music, but it's like sampled rap beats that like just sound really well. I'll play some after. Like there's a track called Breedy Soul. I'm like, it's
I definitely like to hear
that's
it.
one for the people.
I
If you guys know
definitely like to hear
that track, like I love that track so much.
You know, talk to us a little bit about your creative process and what goes into, you know, creating a song.
Oh my gosh.
I can say that if you don't want to. That's easy.
Yeah.
I like growing up playing piano for like I
That
played
helps.
piano like a long time. I used to make everything off of like the keyboard like on a computer keyboard, and you would use like the middle line of keys, and you would only have one octave. So for me, I try to make ideas and I try to play chords like I would on piano because I'm definitely well versed in that, and I would come up with like really awful ideas because I'm only using like. It's like, imagine like a keyboard is this big, right? Like you have, I think it's like 70 something keys, and imagine you only have like 12. So you only have 12 to work with. So you can't like, there's things like you can have 3 notes, but then this note, when you do it, it's called an inversion, not to go like super nerd mode, but when you have this note is also up here, so you can play it like this instead. But you can't do that on a keyboard because you don't have that many notes, right? Like, you don't have that freedom to play with. So for me, I always start off with like, if I'm starting a brand new idea, like I have no vocals, I have nothing to work with, I just like jam out on the piano, and eventually I find like, oh shit, that sounds great, that would sound good with this, and then I start like finding chord progression, record the chord progressions, build everything from like intro to drop, and then that's where I'm like, shit, and I always stop at the drop because I'm like, I just can't, I don't know, like how do I fit this like very completely different intro normally to like the rest of the track, and that's always where it like. You hit 50% and it just kind of like stalls for a minute. Either that or I start with the drop and then the intro is just super easy to make and then I can like flesh out the rest of the
Yeah, I
track.
was gonna say, if you make the drop first, the intro's always easier, but like that's the thing. Sometimes I get to the drop and I'll make like 3 or 4 different ones and you're like, they're so sick, but they just
But they don't
go
work with it, or it's like it's just like, it's cool, but I don't like the intro's too good for the drops and the drops aren't good enough. I have that all the time where I'm like, well shit, like it's not cool enough to fit with everything else.
That sometimes leave you guys with some like extra drops. You guys end up just saving those drops for like another song.
You gotta save them, put them in.
drops.
Or like I don't save them normally. What happens is I'm like making something else and I'm like, shit, like one of those ideas in some other project is good. Go find it, like just drag it over, plop it in and edit it, so that you still reuse what you've made because it's an original idea. You made it at some point. It's just you couldn't find the right time to use it.
Definitely, 100%. So for you guys' sets, what is the song that you guys are looking forward to, or the song as of lately that you've just been playing the most, and you guys are, or not the most, but just looking forward to playing? Like you know when this song comes off, the crowd's gonna go nuts to it. What's a song that just you listen to it on your own probably on sometimes, just like get that feel for it? What?
There's a bunch. I got a bunch. But see, here's the thing. So, like, since I've been doing this for a while, like, it's not like I know what to play. Like, everybody has their different sets. And, different things go
like
off.
you were talking about, like, last night, you're like, what should I play?
Yeah, what should I play? Like, you try to get a vibe for the room because everything will go off differently.
It's like a mystery.
Like, especially first weekend, like, I play this, I have a work edit with the Zoo by NXN and NXN. And it kind of, like, works together with the bells and everything. But the transition out of it, I played it at a Space Yacht event in Los Angeles. And Space Yacht used to be, as far as I know, I wasn't in the scene early enough to know this, but as far as I've heard or known, they used to be like a house venue before they started going to like dubstep and rhythm. So I played this new, one of the dudes from America's team told me about it. We were just chilling at South by at their house, like their Airbnb, and they were like, oh, did you hear the new Boys Noise album? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, you have to listen to this. And they played this track called Distort Me. And it's the first track off his new EP, and I'm like, shit, this is tight. And I'm like, I'm just gonna, and it was the day before their showcase, because I went in early to go, Quick set of showcase as well, and we're all homies, so I was like, okay, I'll go support it, and we played a back-to-back for a bit. It was really fun. And then we came back, everybody was still up playing Fortnite. Like, they love, America loves Fortnite. They love Fortnite. RL loves Fortnite too, as far as America's mentioned to me too. Like, there's a lot of DJs that play it. But I was like, you know what, for you guys, like, you guys are all family now, like, I'm gonna play it for you guys. Let's see how it works.
Definitely.
Best reaction of the night. Literally the best reaction. It's like some, like, it's all, I feel like, as far as I know, it's also all analog, and that's what really impresses me, because I don't know any of that world. Yeah. So for you to make a sound on something analog that actually, like, takes time, you have to develop a sound. It's not like Serum, you change a couple knobs, you can, like, hit undo, you know what I mean? Like, you have to remember what knobs you turn, what you know, like the knobs or like it's like quarter inches that you
cords,
plug
like,
into each
on
other.
a CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that like Reason used to have that on the back end. And that was like I was terrified of it. I'm like, how the hell does this work? Like I don't understand any of this. So anybody that can do that impresses me. But on top of that, like Boys Noise making a banger of a record. Then by a record I mean like the album and the track. Like it's just so cool to see. So I played it at Space Yacht before. It was like a Road to Heineken House type thing. And I played after Riot 10. And I was like, well, I can't play after Riot 10. It's like dubstep, and I don't really play that. But we tried to do it and everything, and then I play the work at it. It does really, really well. And then I play Distort Me like right after it builds up, and it's like, ooh, 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 and then like 4 and 4, bum, 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 and everybody like loses their shit. They go off, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that just happened. And even at South by and in Seattle, and like every time that I do that transition, everybody just loses their minds. But Joker and the Thief, the Wolf Mother track, I used to be a really, really Wolf Mother was like the first like band that I ever got into. It was like I am finding my own taste in music when I was like 11 or something like that. So I played Joker and the Thief, and it's the same key and similar BPM as my You Don't Know remix for Allison. So I loop the guitar after the breakdown or whatever, and then build it up together to like drop it. And that's like one of my favorite reactions just to open with, because I feel it like sets the tone. Because like everybody, I feel like a lot of people know that remix, and I mean, it's also my remix. So to open with one of my own songs, but also have like a dope transition from like, I used to listen to this song. Yeah. Like, if you don't know Joker and the Thief from either movies or the song itself, like I'm gonna put you on, and then I'm gonna drop it into something that if you come to see me, you probably know.
Yeah.
So that's always like a good, like I'll probably be opening with that for a while, because it's like it's my own stuff, but then it starts to set off really good.
That sounds really awesome. I know I'm very familiar with You Don't Know. I mean, I've listened to it quite a few times, and that's dope. I didn't know Allison's funny like that, but I completely believe that's awesome, dude. That really is awesome. Allison's like one of my favorite EDM artists. Like,
you know, like every time I see her, she blows me away every time.
And
it's
she's
just
beautiful,
better
too.
and better.
She's beautiful,
and better,
not to sound weird by any means, but she is a beautiful lady.
Yeah, because me and my girlfriend, we were waiting for Flume, and then I would run into the bathroom, and then I was about to hit the porta potties, and then I heard someone mixing like it was a Kendrick song off his new Damn just came out.
Like,
and they it was her, but I didn't know that at the time, and she mixed it into just one of the most dirty drops I ever heard. And I'm like, I just literally stopped in my tracks, like, who is this? And all of a sudden, on the huge screen, Allison Warner, I said, God damn.
You're like instantly like Twitter follow, Instagram follow, Facebook follow, like everything. Like, let's go.
I was like,
I need to see her whenever she's
killing it.
Yeah, literally every social possible.
She's killing it.
She is.
But
She
Jerles,
really is.
what would you say is your favorite track of yours?
I'm excited to hear this.
I don't know. Right now, I vibe with like Bloom by something. Do you know something? Yeah.
Yes,
It's just like, cause like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't classify myself as like a trap artist. Like, I like super like when I play my sets, it's mostly like I'll play like a drop, a chorus, and then I'll cut it off into some like atmospheric thing. Like just in that, like I said, that's heavily influenced by like Odessa and stuff, like atmospheric.
In EDM, there's a bunch of subgenres nowadays. Like everyone's making their own subgenre. So I just wanted to know if you had to put your music, and you don't have to label yourself into one subgenre, but if you could, then what would you put it under?
Jacob's nervous about this question.
Okay, well, then I'll go first. That's easy. I don't want to put mine under a subgenre. I call my music electronic music, because everybody is so worried about having a subgenre of it's like future bass or like heaven trap or like fucking like all of it is electronic music.
It is
really
it
like
is.
so like
100%.
let's just broaden it out. It's electronic music, and for me, I use it as like I go on iTunes and it's like you have electronic and you have dance and EDM. Dance and EDM for me is like borderline pop music, like Hardwell and all those things, and like your Diplo tracks and whatever. Electronic music is your Tokyo Monsters, your weirder stuff, like your left field electronic, and that's how I try to classic. Like my new single, electronic. My future bass stuff, I would type it in as future bass, but it's still electronic music to me. I want to get rid of, like, there are subgenres, yes, you have to class it, but like everybody that's so snobby about it, just like it's not.
And there are some snobs about it too.
Yeah, there is.
They're so stuck up on.
They're like, oh, you listen to like Sparkle Trap. I hear shit like that.
I've never heard that.
Sparkle Trap. I've heard Sparkle Trap like.
I'm upset already. I'm about to.
Right?
My drink just like what?
Sparkle Trap. I heard that and my jaw dropped. I was like, yeah.
I've never heard that.
But yeah, I guess if I had to choose, it'd definitely be like future bass. But yeah, I'm with you with like, there's too many subgenres at this point.
Like, yes, there is a classification for it, but it's just electronic.
Let's just keep it simple.
Yeah, it's electronic music.
Okay.
That's it.
What's your favorite artist that you've collabed with to this day? Just any release of it.
Literally myself.
I like that answer.
I haven't collabed with anyone.
I've collabed with people, but I'm the same way. Like, I like having other people in the room or having other people like give me advice on the track afterwards. But for collabing, it's not like,
I don't know.
it's weird. Like I have so much creative freedom when it's myself.
Yeah,
and I feel like I have to like worry about somebody else when I'm working with somebody else.
That makes
like
sense.
we've had a lot of collabs that have worked really well. Like my Andrew Luce collab is like still, you know, it has like almost, it's probably 800, 900,000 plays. I used to have a duo group with this kid named Alex who went by LVX from Florida, who I've literally never met before. And we only have 3 or 4 records on that page, which 2 of them have, or like one of them has like 300K, another one is 500,000, and then the other 2 have like 2 million each.
Nice.
And that was it. That's all we put out. And that was like when SoundCloud could give you those numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like I've got some collaborations in the work that I'm really excited about with other people that are like very, very talented that I personally look up to myself, and those I'm really excited about to release. But like as far as working goes, I feel like I'm just more productive and more creative when it's myself.
That makes sense.
I just feel like I get my ideas out.
That makes sense completely.
100%.
But I do enjoy working with people.
Yeah, see, I haven't got the opportunity to. I mean, I feel like I'd like it, but I'm also such a like recluse when it comes to like. I can hide in my apartment for like days without seeing sunlight. Like,
Not lying either.
You can.
And
You
I'm
say
like,
that. You say that like I don't. Like that's what I do.
Yeah.
I leave to go get groceries and come back
yeah,
and work more.
exactly.
Yeah.
I leave to go get takeout, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
maybe
literally.
I should have got groceries.
I feel
No, that's half the time too. I'm like, Postmates is really easy instead of walking.
Exactly.
Who wants to walk nowadays?
That's what I'm
2018.
saying.
is that just more with like another DJ producing on the track, or if there's like a girl or a guy singer on the track?
Oh,
is-
so
is
if we're
also-
talking about like vocalists,
Yeah.
Yeah,
too,
if you just get some vocals in, that'd be awesome.
that's what happens.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
I love when that happens. Like we get sent like you know, like you get a girl that wants to work on the track, and if she wants to get like a session, then that's great. If she's got top lines that are sitting there, like, you know, somebody else has produced a track with her, like normally what happens is you get like a backing track with the vocal on it,
Yeah.
and then you get the vibe of what they were going for in their track, then you just take the acapella and rewrite the track, you know what I
That
mean?
makes
Like the way that you think it should be written.
Yeah.
And the chords that they've written underneath kind of give you like the vibe of where it's going, so you can like take those and use them, you can adapt on them. But dude, that's one of my favorite things to do. Like even not to go super far into tangent either, when I did the remix for Paris, like for the Chainsmokers, that they play every set, you know, ever since I sent it to them, which is amazing. Like I'm super thankful that they do that, and they've been like one of my biggest supporters.
That is dope.
I didn't want to be diluted from what they were making. I wanted to make something different. I wanted to like, you know, like I wanted to make it my own.
Yeah,
Really.
definitely.
So what I did is I listened to it, the original track like once or twice, skipped through it a little bit, and then didn't listen to it ever again. Like I've listened to it now that the track's out. Like I love Paris, the original track. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a different vibe from it. So I got the vocal, I got the idea of the vibe of the track the same way I would listen to somebody else's vocals. Then said, fuck the instrumental. Like just forget about it. Let's take the acapella and let's write something completely new underneath it.
Yeah.
Like literally completely different. But you use like the same chords. Like you have like they're very similar. They're different like inversions. Like you remember I said like you can play chord this way or you can like change the notes. So I did like different inversions, like moved it around and changed it. But getting those type of things for collabs is my favorite, because then I can take something that you know is perfect. Like they've nailed the
already
vocal.
mastered it,
Yeah, they've got
everything.
it ready to go, and I can do whatever I want to it afterwards, and that's my creative freedom. But then it is still a collaboration because they've done something that I've worked on. It kind of feels like a remix almost.
That
Like
makes
you're
sense,
remixing like a vocal record almost.
That makes sense. That makes sense completely. That was very cool.
What is your fucking favorite food? What do you eat?
Dude, I've been into sushi lately.
Sushi's my
I've been
shit.
fucking up sushi.
I didn't
like, way
have
too much.
sushi until I came to the US for the first time.
I've been fucking up sushi.
Dude.
lately.
Like, well, I'm literally like OKC goes straight up type thing. Like, there's no oceans, there's no lakes.
Yeah,
around us. Like,
yeah.
we don't really
I don't
have
want to mess
sushi.
around with that like frozen.
That's true.
Yeah, and like,
That
be
makes
careful.
sense.
so
Oh, yeah, I'm
yeah.
from here, so I just don't even think about it. It's just, I live here.
I could like
I'm
I could
eating
pick
it,
up
bro.
anything
I'm
on
eating
this
it,
table
fam.
with chopsticks. Like that's how well versed I am now. Like I can pick up anything.
Yeah.
Man, I love sushi. Sushi's
That's
so good.
honestly like the main
Fuck.
part why I like getting it. I'm like, I know I can use chopsticks. Like I want to.
Oh yeah, let's just like grab
Half the
anything.
fun.
Like,
That
grab
makes
rice.
sense.
I like there's a bunch of taco trucks in LA, but
I'm not back.
some friends turned me on to this place called Leo's. This-
Leo's.
Yo, my fault. My
No,
fault.
no, you're straight. What happened though?
Hey, where did I use my G. My G. I don't know if you know, but me and Jerles, we know each other ever since like fourth,
Make me go like
fifth grade.
Super Saiyan when I do.
4th, 5th grade. This
I
has
can
been
tell.
my guy. This has been my
I got
G
these
from
inside
day
jokes.
one,
I can
yeah.
see it.
I'm in your
We
position.
always
I'm
go.
not sure what they're doing.
Yeah, that's true. A few of them probably sound weird.
Sushi's super hype. Sushi's fantastic. I'm a big sushi fan. Big like pho fan. ramen fan, but lately I've been going to this taco truck. They have a bunch of taco trucks around LA. There's one place called Leo's that was like, I think it has like 3,000 reviews on Yelp, and they're all 4.5 stars to 5 stars. Like there's like maybe 100 1 stars. And I don't know why.
Leo's still not upgrading to a shop. He just
That's what I'm saying. He's got 3 trucks. I'm like, dude, it was so good the time that we went. I went with a friend from the Bay. A friend from the Bay, and then one of the dudes from Space Yacht. And we go, and I'm like, dude, I need to, experience this. Like, this is an LA thing, and I've never tried it. And then I bought 4. I bought 2 of, like, they're tiny little, like, soft shell tacos. Yeah. I bought 2 carne asada and 2 of, like, the El Pastor or whatever it was. And it was so good that I went and bought another 4. Like, it was that. Like, they're like $1.50 a taco. And it was just like,
I got a place here.
Too.
I can't imagine it's the same as that place, but I have a place just like that sells.
No. But that's the thing. It's only the vibe. Like, you go for the vibe, basically. On top of the food's amazing.
You go for the people that are speaking Spanish and you don't know what they're saying, but you know it's going to be really good.
Really good. Oh, it's phenomenal.
I feel that completely.
What would you say, Rob, is one of your favorite countries that you've been to?
Countries?
Yeah, countries.
I haven't visited countries yet either. I'm about to. Yeah, we know it. I can say that. Okay. I'm about to go to Australia in July. For the first time, so I'm excited to visit.
Who are you touring with?
I can't say that. I can't.
Okay, you're good.
That's undisclosed. I know that there's something I can't say yet. I know that there's something I can't say yet.
You're good.
So we're doing Australia with a couple friends. I'm not even direct support. I'm like not even the headliner either. Like we're like down the line. But
you're going to Australia. That's something.
I'm going to Australia for 3 fucking weeks. Like 3 weeks. So I'm really excited to like learn about the culture. Like. Obviously, go see some kangaroos and shit. Yeah, whatever. But, yeah, like, I haven't really visited that many countries, but, like, from food everywhere else, like, I mean, like, OKC, Kansas City, like, every time, like, to sort of relate that back, we went to, like, Q34, whatever the restaurant was in Kansas City, and, like, every time I'm out somewhere, I want to try something different. Like, I don't want to be eating, like,
McDonald's
Subway or McDonald's. You can get McDonald's, Subway anywhere, right? Like that's the same thing. Like if we're here, let's go visit. Let's go do something. Like check Yelp. What's the best shit? Ask locals. Ask the people at the hotel that you're staying at. Ask people that are like standing at the stoplight before you can all cross together. Like do you live here? Yes. What's your favorite food? Here's a spot. Let's go. My Uber drivers. Literally, I have a notepad filled up. Literally just from OKC, I have 7 spots that obviously I won't go to. Like somebody said, Earl's or Steve's something for barbecue. Earl's barbecue. Yeah. See, you know it.
Earl's is bomb. Yeah.
So somebody suggested that.
It's not my number 1, but Earl's is bomb. Earl's is bomb.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I always have to try to figure out because like
where is that at? More? My fault.
No, you're fine.
More? Is that right? Yeah, we're good. That's about it.
It's just like it's all about finding different spots because it's cool. Like you can get food everywhere, right? But if you're not gonna try something different, then
if you like sushi, before I take you to the airport, I can take us by a good spot up here, across the street.
Dear God, let's go.
I was trying to take Tyler earlier to Tea Cafe.
We should go.
It was closed, dude.
Damn, we should hit up Full Moon here in a bit. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna chill for a little bit.
The sushi thing?
Yeah, Full Moon's like.
I have not eaten all day. I'm ready to go whenever.
Down for sushi.
If you after this, we should relax for a little bit and then go
very down.
Yeah, then go.
I'm actually super down.
Go Full Moon. It's literally 5 minutes from here. You know where Full Moon's at.
I don't turn down sushi ever.
Question: what is the biggest difference between United States and Canada whenever just day-to-day life?
Buddy?
Oh, fucking buddy. That's my favorite thing. Now that I've lived here for long enough, you can like turn it on and off. I was doing it last night. Like you just flip it on and off. Like right now, I feel like if I say y'all or whatever, like I'm American, but I'd be like, oh fuck yeah, buddy. Like dude, we got so many things. Like buddy over here got this restaurant that he fucking loves.
So many things.
Well, I love him so much, especially like the Jets always. But the biggest difference. I feel like people in the U.S. are a little bit more cutthroat, but it's different. Like, there's a lot of documentaries that you can watch that kind of explain the difference between the two. Yeah. And I won't say anything on it. You can watch them. I don't even know the name, but there are documentaries for it that I've seen before. Like, I mean, everybody thinks that all Canadians are, like, super, super nice, and that's just how it is. And they are, like, not to, like, boast about Canadians. Like, they're very, like, polite and considerate, but there are some things that are different between Canada and the U.S. The only thing that, like, I feel that I've developed, and this is, like, a weird, intricate thought, is that, like, when I land in Canada, it's the same way as, like, turning the accent on and off. Like, I'm able to Like not it's not like I become unpolite or become polite. Like I feel like I'm the same person both ways. But there's like a mentality when you walk into LAX, and there's a mentality when I walk back at home at YWG. Like it's like a like I know where I am. I know who these people are, and you just have to be able to like mold to it a little bit without like losing yourself.
It makes sense completely. I understand it completely. With me being a concert promoter and producing rap shows and EDM shows sometimes, and me living in Oklahoma at the same time, sometimes I have to alternate with myself. I feel the same fluctuations because sometimes I'll be hanging. My business partner actually, who owns my company with me, is Toby Keith's son. So I'm hanging around some country guys at the time. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying I can feel the fluctuations.
There's a difference between
if I'm hanging around.
Like, if you say bet, they'll be like, what did you just say?
Yeah, they're like, nah, they'll probably all start saying bet the next week. If we're being honest, nowadays.
Will throw
But like 2
sure.
years ago, like that's how it was. Like
It's
nowadays,
like for me, I've been trying to stop saying y'all so much because like, what are y'all doing? What's going on? But like, I've been saying that for 8 years, you know, so
that's the
I
thing.
keep
Like you
saying
can't avoid it.
Yeah.
What subgenre or artist do you think doesn't get enough attention these days? Like
This
an
is
artist,
the
a
one
subgenre that's
looking
blowing
up.
up.
I was trying to think.
It's like subgenre for me, and I know it's becoming more prevalent now. There's this dude named 1788. He had an other project before, but it really, like, I say the name just so that people, if they know, they know. But really what it is like this mid-tempo, like, Justice, but, like, super saturated, like, mid-tempo Rez type stuff. Like, it sounds like Rez. Rez plays a lot of it, and that's why I attribute it to Rez, because she's, like, the forefront of that sound.
Like hot step type.
It's like Moonbaton speed, but sounds like dirty as Justice. Like old, like gnarly fucking, like, and I say gnarly as like I'm from California, but like it's just like these like it's not growl bass. It's not like Skrillex. It just sounds like Justice. That's the only way you can explain it.
That's fair. That's fair. I know Justice.
It's coming up, and I'm not saying it doesn't get enough shine because I love it. I play a bunch of it now, but it's a sound that's coming up, I guess.
I wish it would get.
That's fair.
I like it's getting more attention. Like the 1788 dude that I mentioned has a collab with Rez. He has a collab with Elenium. Like he only has 10K followers on SoundCloud. Like blown up.
Nice. One artist you can meet, dead or alive. If you could ever meet one dead or alive.
I know that instantly, and I could have met him on Friday, and I didn't say hi.
Who was
Pretty
it,
good.
man?
Skrillex.
There'll definitely be another
like
time.
I say, like I don't get starstruck that much anymore. Like being in Los Angeles, like I remember walking with Cheney and her grandparents down Rodeo, like in the middle of Beverly Hills, and her her family's the nicest people ever, and her grandfather he's like, hold on, like we're walking down the street, there's like a back alley, he holds the door open, there's like two black Escalades that pull up. Somebody walks out and they go in, and he's like, hold up. So he goes and holds open the door for like everybody that goes into this restaurant. And we're standing there like waiting, and we're with Cheney's grandma, and we're just like standing there like whatever. And then he comes back, and we're like, well, what was that? Like, who'd you open the door for? And he's like, it was George Lucas.
Wow.
I was like,
Casual.
Wow.
okay.
Very
But
casual.
even then, like at that point, I was like, wow, shit. Like, okay, George Lucas, that's crazy. And he was like. We call him Poppy, and he was laughing. He was like, yeah, he was saying like, thank you for me holding the door open for him, like making it a big deal. Like, oh, I was the big deal, not George Lucas. Fuck George Lucas, but it was not fuck George Lucas. We can edit that out. We can edit that out.
You heard it here first. Fuck George Lucas from Vincent. I'm completely kidding.
I don't get starstruck anymore. Like it's not. I feel like it's not like a pretentious thing either. It's just like everything just becomes normalized. But every time I see fucking Skrillex, I'm like, that was like he's the one. Like for me, like I dick ride that dude forever. Like even in my weekend one set, I don't think I played anything. In weekend two, I was like, how do I incorporate like as many Skrillex songs as possible?
Yeah.
Like, how do I play the hits like Breaking a Sweat or like Bangarang or all those?
I mean,
like,
dude,
how do I put those in?
Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites was one of the first electronic songs.
That was
I look at it the same way as Avicii.
That music
like,
video was mad.
That's
the one that goes.
Yeah.
He changed EDM in the U.S. the same way that Avicii changed EDM around the world.
Exactly.
I mean, he changed it around the world. Bro Step, if we call it that, is technically a thing because of Skrillex.
Right.
Like he invented a subgenre. He invented a genre. He invented a lot of things the same way Avicii reinvented the wheel. Like I wouldn't say Avicii invented music, obviously, like he did that, but he reinvented electronic music into like any type of form where you can hear it on the radio. I feel like he was one of the first people. Not to go too much on a tangent. I feel like this is one of the first people to bring electronic music into a mainstream
agree.
light.
I would agree with that.
100%.
Like Wake
Especially
Me Up.
hearing back on his music now, I was like, wow, I knew these songs and without even knowing
Without
that.
knowing it's a Avicii song.
Like, I knew
Except for
exactly.
like obviously Levels, and for me it was
Yeah.
Wake Me Up. Those are the two that I knew.
Yeah.
The other ones like Hey Brother, I wouldn't really attribute to Avicii, but obviously you listen to it and it's like, shit, that's an Avicii song.
Yeah.
And then this is an Avicii song.
A lot of
and
people would,
And it's
too.
like Avicii. It's like I can't count it on my fingers anymore because
Right.
we've got hits
So
that have
many.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions
Since his
of plays.
passing, you start to realize like, oh, that was an Avicii song that I remember playing when I was 13 or
Yeah,
12.
literally. Like I used to like put my own like Call of Duty montages to
Yeah,
music. Type
to
thing.
Levels or whatever it is.
Literally, yeah.
That's lit.
It's a
That's
thing.
lit. That's lit. No
No
lie.
doubt. What about
One
you,
artist
Jules?
you'd like to meet, dead or alive?
Odessa, definitely.
Odessa? I like
I
that. I
just love
like that.
Odessa.
I
We
like
could try to
that a
make
lot.
that happen.
Yeah, 100%.
Odessa?
We're friends.
100%.
Please to God.
100%.
Please.
They
Please,
actually,
please.
all right. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys coming out. It's been a pleasure. Thank you,
Thank you for
Vincent.
having us.
Thank you, Jerles.
Always a pleasure.
Tyler, my guy. It's always
Yes,
a
sir,
pleasure
yes,
to
sir,
see
yes,
you.
sir, yes, sir.
JoJo, shout out Noel on camera. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Until next
It's a
time.
wrap.